evening and welcome to the Laughing Monkey Music Show, too. Nick Oliveri. How are you, man?
Very good. Very good.
Well, thanks for coming on. I know we've been trying to get this going for a little while,
Yeah,
so I'm
sorry
glad
about
we could finally do it. It's all good. It's all good. You're a busy man. This is good
yeah.
though. You, I almost feel like since COVID, you've actually been like working triple time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I've done more
The
stuff.
output of music you've put out between different bands
Yeah.
and touring.
I started doing lots of stuff from my Pro Tools at home, so it was easy to do and then send them a link on a wave file on a Big Sending platform. So it actually was easier to do, and they didn't have to travel to like New York to do a song or something. So,
Hmm.
which I'd rather do, rather do it in person. But it's been easy to do it from here, and I have Pro Tools, and I could manage to record bass and singing and stuff like that here. So
Well, you do pretty much everything yourself except for probably play drums at this point. So,
yeah, I try to play drums, but I'm not a drummer. I wish.
well, I mean, yeah, I'm not judging thing. I'm just saying I know for a fact it's one thing I don't see you performing doing professionally. Everyone
Uh,
can bang out their ideas and come up with some kind of percussion if you want. And
right.
if you're a bass player and a guitar player, you've got the rhythm and the skill set. It's not like,
Yeah, it's the
you know,
stamina to play drums is a whole nother game.
I don't know how people do it in their 50s. Like I don't know how people do it after the 30s,
I
you
heard
know?
that. I heard
Oh
that.
my God, you see these guys doing it now? Like I'm like I think I'm like a year older than you. I'm gonna be 55 in October.
All right.
Um, so I
What's
don't know.
your birthday, by the way?
Second, October
Um,
2nd.
21st, 21st.
Okay. That's close enough. But yeah, I can't. I don't know how people have the energy. I'm like, I get like singing. It's hard as you get older, but like bass and guitar doesn't, it's still the same spot. You can stand, you get lighter guitars. They have better straps now that make it lighter. I mean,
Oh yeah.
but if you're a drummer or singer, you're stuck with the age thing. I mean, I
Yeah.
think one of the things really interesting to me is I love when I talk to musicians, I really enjoy the music like career-wise and span-wise, is songwriting composition. And I enjoy the songs you've written, and I think you've written with so many different people over so many different times. Like, and then as a young songwriter, it feels like when you were in Kyuss or then even Queens, you were probably still learning what you wanted for a sound. You were probably more punk and whatever. Do you think at what point do you think you started to change a little bit? Because I think there's some changes in your songwriting, and you still go back to it, but I think you started hitting different levels as a songwriter. Just most people do.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
At what point do you think you started to feel the difference as a songwriter?
Well, I really I think more towards the end of maybe Songs for the Deaf, that record, maybe I started opening up a little bit more. But I was still kind of simplistic in my writing and stuff. But I try to I try to stay pretty formula, I guess, but I do like to take some chances here and there and try some new things as well. But I kind of I'm always game to learn more and open up for writing and playing how I write bass for other people's stuff as well and playing with other people's songs. But I always try to get better and try to take chances with how I sound and what I'm writing. So I think there's a lot of stuff to say for I don't know when it actually changed or started opening up more, but I know I am more open to writing, trying to do something different.
But there is the thing, like, there's a difference, not good or bad. Like when you were in Queens and not, there's a sound of you and bass when you're in Caius or not. There is a sound that you carry. Just like every musician, to say Josh wasn't in Queens anymore. Like each of
Yeah,
you guys all carried a sound.
yeah, you know
Like
it's
you do
Josh.
have your own,
Oh, that's
I
Josh.
mean, you do have your own sound and you developed it early on,
Yeah, thank
you
you. Yeah,
know.
we really tried to search that out with our bands, especially with Kais. We were like, we got to have our own thing we're doing, each player, the guitar, Josh and myself, and in Queens, especially maybe Queens even more because that was really we were really trying to do our best at all times. Like what we wanted to feature every instrument as if it was
Hmm.
playing on its own. So if the bass line's good enough to hear it on its own, then it's good enough to be in the song. Is how we looked at it. And if the guitar is good enough to be on its own, it's good enough. Drums, even everything.
Yeah. To me, your bass playing always harkens back because you are a guitar player and a good guitar player, but it harkens back to like the music in the 80s or some of the 70s, like the punk and the even or alternative and goth, because back then there's a lot of songs that are driven by the bass.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
it had that great bass that just like it was like the anchor
Yeah,
of the
absolutely.
song. And sometimes it was the hook, which actually allowed some of the guitar players in some of those bands to be almost like abstract and more ambient, which was great because in that band they had their sound of being like ambient when the bass kind of just drove it home.
Drove it, yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff I listen to still it's there's great separation between the guitar and the bass, like the separation except for like maybe Southern studios, I guess, in England, some of that early hardcore stuff, punk rock stuff was
Yeah,
very separate. The sounds, like you can tell there's every good separation in the studio, but just in the mix itself, it's really you could hear the bass line so good. Like a Subhumans record or something like that, you really hear what the bass player is doing. He's doing lots of cool stuff. So you want
hmm
it, got to hear that, it's driving a song.
it is a center, and I mean it's amazing how much it holds back. Whenever I talk to somebody from the punk or alternative, what do you want to call it back then, how driving it was at that point, and they were just a lot of these guys like I just wanted to be in a band. I just picked it up. In fact, I built my bass guitar, and those were like the leading bass sounds that we know today. Were like, that's a great song. And you're like, where'd you come with? They're like, honestly, I just built a guitar like a week before. It
Right,
was my
right.
first bass line. You know what I mean?
I was just playing what came to mind. Yeah. Great,
You know,
great.
it's kind of like that Mr. Magoo thing where you're like walking along in the construction site, you just fall into other pillars and just keep surviving without purpose. You know, the
That's
Mr.
my
Magoo
life.
of rock.
That's my life. That's my life.
Well, I mean, you've had such an impressive. I actually went online. I don't usually do it, but I had to go online and look at your discography of all the other musicians you've played with. It
Yeah,
is bananas.
I've
It
been
is bananas.
I've been fortunate to play with some really great players and over the years, and it's been an honor, to work with people that I look at as people I listen to. I listen to their music, and it's like wow, to be able to work with some of these players has been an honor. It's been magic.
Right. You reconnect with other musicians from earlier on, or even Queens, like whenever you talk to these guys. Do you feel there's an improved dynamic musically? Like you've each bringing new skills together? It could be for anybody. Like I'm saying, or is it like, oh, it's the same because it's just this groove we have, and it's just
Feels comfortable. It feels really comfortable to play music with Brant or Josh or Blag or whoever it's
yeah,
worked with over the years. It's just real comfortable for me to do, And if I show them a part, they add something great to it, and it becomes our part, or vice versa.
yeah.
And I kind of just know that they're going to do that. If I have like it's been, somebody like Josh, it's real easy because if I have like a two-chord thing, he could add this great
hmm
melodic thing on guitar to it. And I'm like, oh, that sounds great. Yeah. So it really works to work. It's real comfortable knowing that they're going to add something to the song that's going to make
Yeah.
make it better.
You were the right and left side. You can be the other side to balance it.
Yeah, I like to work with bands, and if I listen to a song I'm gonna write lyrics to or do something to, I always listen to like what can I do to add myself and can I better this? Otherwise, I don't want to do it. So I'm always looking to do that, and that's the main goal for sure with songwriting and stuff. And I mean, I just did a song with a band called Otto, with OTTTO, and it's the guy.
There's a video out on YouTube.
Uh, I think we're doing a video tomorrow, like a proper video.
Yeah. No, the live thing where you fell.
Yeah.
Now, I want to say something to people. First off, the fact you can perform at that level is awesome. I also want to say it looked like there was quicksand in the front. It looked like you were innocent. It was quicksand that sucked you in. The fact that you went down, I watched it. I was like, oh, because I could think about it as like being in the 50s and falling and getting hurt. It's not about like falling. You fell and you didn't stop and you got right back up and you kept that same level of performance. That is professional. I'll be honest with you, because you watch these things all the time to keep performing after
Yeah.
that fall.
Yeah, I was like, okay. I was on the bass sub and I wasn't looking down. I slipped off. I was like, whoa. And I had a cordless mic, so they gave me the use. So I just jumped up and kept doing it. I was like, I can't stop now. It kind of hurt, but I can't stop now. I got to keep going. So I didn't want the song to suffer and their performance because they're having me as a featured guest on one
Yeah.
song. So if I can't do one song and get hurt and keep going, there's something wrong with me. So I just kept going.
But that was a level of professionalism. You could have stopped for a minute or whatever. I mean, it hurts.
Some people, some
But
people, some people don't want ah.
it didn't even stop your voice though. Like it didn't even change it. Like there's an audio out there. Like if you just heard the audio, you wouldn't even know you fell.
Oh yeah. I
You
might have
know?
missed like one or two words. I jumped right back in.
You know,
Yeah,
you've seen enough of those things like the internet goes, oh, so and so fell or whatever. And I'm like, I didn't care.
yeah,
Like when
yeah,
those things come up. But then I was looking at something and then the video came up again. I'm like, I gotta see what happened now because obviously we're talking in case it comes up relevant because I usually don't care about those kind of things. And I watched it, and I was like, dude doesn't even freaking miss a beat.
Yeah, I just
That was pretty impressive to me. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
in fact, it's a positive.
kept going. Yeah, it actually added something energy wise to the song. I think that night for sure.
And more people are watching the video, which is going to bring more attention to the band.
Yeah,
Nothing like bad press, right?
that's right. That's right. All press is good press.
Now
And
you
bad press
handled
is
it
probably the best press. Yeah, people read that stuff.
well. Vocally, though, coming in, is there a challenge for you now as you get older? Like a lot of singers, because obviously you're singing different than some singers, but it doesn't matter because just vocally, your vocal cords change whether you're doing anything. People think like, oh, remember like when we were younger? I'll give you an example. People are like, oh, death metal, that's just screaming. I could do that. I'm like, there is no way you could do that stuff. That is hard, like to do it right. And
Yeah.
you have music, so like, put that aside. What you're doing is intense.
Yeah, I've always been uh able to do it. Knock on wood, I've always been able to do that, like sing really hard and not have a problem with my voice. And I think I had one time in my whole career that I had trouble singing, where my voice was giving out on me,
Mhm.
and I was sick, so it was one of those things. But yeah, I had one day I was really concerned about it, and I had to add like different tails on the end of phrases and shit.
Oh, really?
I had to approach it differently, I still sang it hard, but I couldn't hold certain notes and hit certain notes that I was, because when I'm screaming, I'm still like hitting some notes there. And so
No, yeah.
I had a hard time. And so I just like kind of changed it to suit that night. And then I got it back. But yeah, I was stressed about it. It's like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I can't talk really good right now. I'm losing my voice, and I never had that stress before. So I mean, I've been playing bass more than I've been a singer. So it's probably that's the reason why. But yeah, I've never had any trouble with my voice, and as far as that goes, like I've always been able to do
You,
it every night pretty strong on tour.
I was gonna say, I imagine because when you do your solo stuff, though, it's just you,
Yeah,
and it is you singing. Is there a point where certain like night after night after night, are you prepping, or is it just like you're just one of those natural guys that just kind of
I just go
do
for
your
it.
thing?
Yeah, just go
Yeah,
for it. Yeah, I don't have a warm up or anything. I just maybe I talk a lot during the day and keep my voice working.
right. So you're
People are
just
like,
naturally lucky then.
shut up. People are telling me, shut up. No, okay.
Well, I mean, it can hold the things in the range you do. So, I mean, one of the things that I do talk about is like because age, comes for all of us, and certain people that sang in certain ranges, all different types of music, are like, man, I wish I sang it differently. You know, the
Yeah,
guys
man.
that sang more like Billy Idol, Billy Idol can still sing a song exactly like Billy Idol.
Yeah, absolutely. He can. Absolutely can. And he puts on a good show too. I've
He
seen it.
does absolutely, and that's my point is he sounds great, but he didn't sing 3 million octaves too high
Right. Right.
when he was a young man.
Right.
That wasn't his thing anyhow. But my example is if you sing in a certain range, a natural range, it carried
Always do it.
further.
You can always do it. Yeah, you can always do it no matter
Right.
how old you get. But yeah, some stuff like screaming really hard. I imagine a 65-year-old man or a 70-year-old man's gonna be like, "Oh man, I can't do that. I'm retiring, man." I mean, if you can't do it, I kind of feel like if you can't do it forever, then you have to should probably stop and do something else. Move to guitar or something. I don't know. I mean, but some people want to hear you sing, and so I mean,
Hmm.
it's a shame to hear some people give up, and not do it or not be able to do it. That's a shame, and that's something I don't have. I don't really fear that. I mean, I kind of I can respect that. Like I imagine there's some things I'd be like, well, I don't feel the same way about that one song, or I don't can't approach it that same way. I mean, but I haven't had that problem. Knock on wood again. But yeah, that's
Well,
I'm not really concerned about that right now at 53. I think I'm pretty strong and I feel stronger than ever vocally, so I think I could do that. And bass stuff feel really strong too. So
I think it's interesting because you got two projects. We'll talk obviously doing Mondo, and then you're doing Stoner, and then you still have your solo stuff, and you did a bunch of solo like albums. Actually, let's just the NO hits, not hits.
yeah.
Where did that come from? Because you have a bunch of them, and you do like other songs you've done through your career.
Yeah, it's basically a bunch of different bands I worked with. The main reason it came up was the guys at Heavy Psych Sound would put it out, and it's basically a compilation of volumes of stuff that I sang on. And a lot of the stuff has come out with other bands, and so they put it on their record, and I asked if I could put it on these ones. It's just it's
Yeah.
it's out there, you know. It's not really a push thing, and it's more like a collector kind of thing to get, you know, and it's fun, you know, for me. I think I did the last one, volume 10, but I'm not sure. I might, I don't know if I'm gonna continue to do them or not. But I mean, I always I'm always working, and there's always more stuff that I'm singing. So, but a lot of stuff I also put solo stuff where I'm doing acoustic stuff and other things
Hmm.
as well. And so it's been fun to compile, you know, and put together these things. I didn't realize I had so many songs in my files. I'm like, holy hell, I got so many songs I could do this.
I think it's good. You know what I mean? Because even if it's not, it's definitely got a niche. And I know I was just listening a while back. I loved you did a record show. I'm a big record collector too.
Yeah.
So it's great. So it just in the vein of that is like it's great to have all of your music together, like as a fan, to have it all in one place. Like if there's an artist, because like nowadays you go online and you go to a streaming service. I'm not going to knock them, but it's a lot of singles and you can't organize them. Like if I just want to hear a song or I have to like make an album
Yeah.
and I have to do this, like you have to curate your own stuff in a way. And most people doesn't care because they just like singles and that's it. I'm just the weirdo, I guess. But something like that to like a record collector, you get your eyes on that, you're like, oh, thank you.
All in one place. Yeah, it's
It's
great.
all in one place, and I can appreciate you as an artist,
Yeah, that's
and I
cool.
can get my hands on these things. I think that is something, even if you felt, two or 100,000, like of any albums or any group,
Yeah.
because it's a collection of
Yeah,
your work.
it's got good cover art on it too. All the different covers on it are really fun, you know. So I think it's been fun to do them, and me being a record collector, I love collectible stuff, you know. So I
Hmm.
mean, maybe one day there'll be like something that somebody will be treasure having, you know, which would be great, and that's all I could wish for, you know. With those,
The big NO box set, right? The big
that's it. That's
vinyl
it.
box set. So we're putting the energy to the universe right now, people out there, or
That's
just
right.
the people that have a company that does records. That would be kind of fun.
Killer.
What made me think about, so in the vein of that, of you doing all the different stuff, has there been thought of you doing like a solo album, not just like acoustic, but like, you know, have Brant come in or Josh or like Blag and like do like your album with other new songs, electric, with each different artist of your career, whoever different mix-ups, and then do like an album, but it's you leading the ship.
It's a good idea. Ding! You just gave me the light bulb. Ding! I'm gonna do
I
it.
think that's a great idea. Here's the thing is,
I'd like to do something like that. That'd be a lot of fun, you know. Josh Freeze on drums on something, or
yeah,
Dave, you know, get different people. That's a great idea.
as you hear the songs, you're like, oh, this
All
is
new
this is a
stuff,
Josh
all
thing
new
that,
tunes, all new songs, brand new record. That'd be fantastic. You know,
you could write the skeletons of the songs or let them create with you, but it's your
yeah,
ship. One of the things that is interesting, I always thought was interesting, like even with like early Caius or even Queens, it's like with every band, there's always like a leader. And if there's two people that lead it, they always clash, but it makes good music. And now here's the thing, sometimes, and I'll use the Stones and Queens as an example. The Stones, the singers clash, whatever. But when they go solo, I mean, mixed up a couple good albums, like whatever, they've never had this, they're not super strong solo, right? They
right.
always go back. Now you and Josh are very strong songwriters, and actually the other guy there too. So, but together you guys were a good album, but separately, Queens still sounds really good.
Yeah,
And you
yeah,
sound really good. So that's a dynamic that you don't usually see, like where, and it's, but that's always a challenge too when you have that many leaders, because
yeah.
in
Yeah.
a band you kind of need somebody that's going to be, everyone's going to relate to like one leader at some point.
Everybody has to
And that's
agree on.
not a dig towards anybody. I'm just saying in general, like that is a challenge when you have a band of that many talented songwriters early
Yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah.
A band's eventually going to implode. Like Caius like has so many years in it because everybody is so talented, can do almost everything.
Yeah,
It's like
typical. It's
how,
typical. Put together. Yeah. Everybody kind
but
of
this
went.
compliment too, though, for you guys though, because you're all so talented.
Yeah, for sure. And it's hard to if everybody doesn't agree on who the band leader is,
Hmm.
there's gonna be trouble, you know. And the main say has to be someone, you know. I mean, somebody has to. Yeah, I always look at myself as maybe I'm not the king, but I'm the king's best knight. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
I'll fight for my army, I'll die for it, and for my army of rock or whatever, you know. Weird analogy, but yeah, like that, and you know, I like to have a say, you know, I like to be asked, you know, but hey, sometimes decisions have to be made, you know, and if it's something that you know somebody's going to be, I know my guys in Mondo, they're going to say yes to certain things. And some things I ask them about everyththing, but to make sure
Yeah,
it's okay. But I kind of know I can depend on Mike, my guitar player, for certain things like little things that you just got to make quick moves. Like this, a good show with a good band offered to you.
right.
I really got to ask them. I should just tell them we got this show coming up. You know. So there's those kind of things you just have to make.
But in a song though, like you might have a bunch of good ideas, and you can say that's a good idea, and someone could disagree, and not even be like a fight, be like, man, I think it should be this, and you're like, yeah, I wrote it, I kind of like this better. At the
Yeah,
end of the world, you're like, you're gonna be the last say in Mondo,
yeah, sure, absolutely, absolutely, yeah, yeah,
and I think that's and a lot of me has survived realizing, say, you know what, I feel good, put my own 2 cents in, I feel comfortable, but at the end, I'm okay with my position because I'm in a great band. I still
yeah,
can do my stuff, and I can do solo stuff and other things too. And I think that's how some bands can do other things. But I never thought it was like a big problem with people who do Queens. To me, I always thought it was just so much talent in songwriters that it was destined to bottleneck at some point
yeah.
because
Yeah.
there's just too much talent in one room for it to all go anywhere.
If everybody has 14 songs that are good,
Right.
you can't put it on one record.
No. And then everybody feels confident about it because if you don't feel confident about it, you shouldn't be a musician. So then you feel passionate about it. And if you're not passionate, why be a musician? So it's not like fighting like your enemies. It's like everyone's just passionate about stuff
Absolutely.
and super creative, way more creative than usually it's only one creative person in the band. But when you have
Yeah.
four people that are creative, it's
You
going to be
have
a nightmare.
four hungry songwriters that are wanting to show their stuff is a great thing, a great band to be in. Like I mean, we were very lucky to have the players we had in Queens. And we always had
Yeah.
somebody came and went. They were great. No matter how long they stayed, they were just like they were there for a reason because they were going to show their stuff of what they could do,
Hmm.
whether guitar or keyboards, whatever they were doing. Drums. I mean, we had some great players. Very fortunate to play in that band. I feel very lucky. It was the best band I probably ever played in my life for sure. Mark Lanigan in there. I mean, Troy Van
Yeah, it
Loon.
was fantastic. Yeah, yeah, there's a fantastic lineup at that point from just in
Steve-O.
general.
It's like some great players. Gene Troutman over the years, Brendan McNichol. There's been some players that were like, whoa, man, these guys are really can really bring it, and it makes you play better, makes you go take my bass home and I'm playing. I'm
Yeah.
practicing, I'm like, man, I got to step up my game. I'm playing with these guys. They're like, I ain't gonna be the weak link here. I'm gonna step up my game. So it really was a great band to play in for that. And even the Dwarves too. I mean, I played with some great players. Black puts together
Yeah.
a team of people for studio stuff. Josh Freeze on drums. We have Gabriel Perez now. But like these players are like, man, you got to be good at your game or you get left behind. He's not going to wait for you. And Black's a band leader. He's not waiting for
He
you.
knows we talked about this. It's his ship.
Yeah,
He
he's not
welcomes
waiting for.
ideas and he welcomes it in, but when it, in the end comes in, he's the captain.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, when he's done, the band's done. There's no more
Yeah.
drums. When Black says no more.
Basically, it's auxiliary players coming in. It's an open door.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
notice there's a lot of rock bands that do that more often where they have, just because of contracts and gigs and stuff, they have a couple bass players, a couple drummers. You know what I mean? It's harder with the singer because you have a sound with a singer
that's right.
or a guitar player. It's harder to replicate. But you know what I'm saying? They do have certain musicians that wrote, well, you couldn't do that back in the 70s and the 80s because you were like locked into one band.
That's
And
right.
I think, but I also think that kind of footprint for those guys is also the same thing. It's allowed you like a second life
Right.
outside of those first two bands because any other artist would your Gaius, which is like iconic, legendary, and then you go to Queens, which is like that point, you were like what, like 250,000 people you go to in a band playing. Which,
Yeah.
by the way, you played naked in front of that many people. Did you defeat that? No, now listen. Now, to me, I thought, you know how people always go like, "Oh yeah, just think about them naked. You have to dream like I'm in my underwear for school, right?" Once you did that, did you never have that fear again? You're like, I've
Never.
overcome it.
Never had it. Never
Oh,
had it. I used to get stage fright a little bit, a little nervous to go on. I still get nervous before a set because I want to be good, but that kind of wiped that right out. Like I'm not wearing anything. I gotta just
I,
out there and
I love when people do that. I think it's so funny. Like it's just like, guys,
I did that in my
relax.
my 20s and 30s. Now I'm just like an old man, and it's kind of weird to do.
Well, you did have some bumps in the road. We'll just say that, and I
Yeah,
think you've had some challenges, but you've overcome them. You know,
yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
not about making negative. I think I just thought that I was like, man, everybody's got the biggest fear about being in their underwear in front of everybody. I go, and you just went out there and like owned it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's the way I look at it. But I think, yeah, I mean, clearly, your challenges aside, as a musician, you've been able to still stay relevant and going
Yeah,
ahead, despite any of the challenges you've had that could have annihilated any careers. you
Yeah,
know?
I just keep going, I just keep going. Like me falling off that stage, I just kept going. I that's what happens to me in bands, I fall off the stage somehow, and I just keep going. I can't stop it because I feel music. I love it. I live it, and
Yeah.
I mean it. I'm not faking it. I really my whole life has been revolved around it basically, and and without it, I would not exist. I just love it. I love it, and I have to keep going. I'll do this.
And you're known to be good for the fans. And in the past, I don't know, 10, 15 years, I don't think there's anything like there's no more outlandish
Yeah.
youthful events going on. You're a
Uh,
different, you're a different person now. I mean, you've it's always been the focus has just been on music, which has allowed you to really dig in. COVID for an artist like you, the challenge there. So Black said like during COVID for him, he was getting like to write all his albums and like re-releasing things because that was the income thing. What was your thing during COVID?
I kind of went a little crazy. Like I was so used to touring and really was depending on doing that because that's I do records because they're fun, but I do shows with my band because they're fun. But I play with
Right.
Dwarves to do like acoustic. I'll go on acoustic tours just myself because I can make money and make my bills with it.
Yeah.
Is why I do the acoustic thing, and it's hard work. I mean, I go out and I'll do like 25 shows in a row, and after a Mondo tour, they help pay for the Mondo tour, and and then get
Yeah.
home.
Well, people don't realize that though.
Yeah, I'm doing it. I'm trying to make
It's
sure I can do my band, and to not get a real job. So it is a real job, but it's a different kind of job for sure. Not everybody can travel and play every night and go up there on their own by themselves with an acoustic guitar. I mean, that's a whole nother game too. That's like I realize like, wow, I'm like a stripper or something right now. I'm going on stage by myself naked, basically.
well, you have actually.
Yeah, I've been a different kind of neck, a different kind of naked. Like, oh my God,
Right.
every
Strip
note
down.
you hit and every note you sing, people can hear that really well because it's just the two channels, So they can hear it really well, and you got to be interesting. And what am I going to say in between a song that's going to be that interesting to keep the crowd riveted? I just got to keep playing.
Well, I think that keeps you from being jaded, and I think it also I would think, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, as a songwriter, you're gonna be a little more introspective when you're writing. Because if you're like you know what it's like to be out there, you're like, man, I gotta really be able to deliver this because I've
Yeah.
been in all kinds of environments, all kinds of bands now. At this point, if I'm just up there with my guitar and a microphone, acoustic too.
Yeah, I'm basically playing the songs how like if it was a song I wrote, it's how I wrote it, on a guitar at home, messing around, singing along with it, and so that's basically doing it like that live. And I call it Death Acoustic because I'll sing really hard with the live.
Hmm. You do everything hard though. I don't think you do anything gentle.
It hasn't really took off in the States so much because I haven't really done a whole lot of it here. But I go over to Europe and I've been to Australia a couple times and it does really well doing it over. So I can continue to do it if I can. I'm gonna keep doing it.
I
People
would.
have me. I'm gonna go do it. If people will book it and have me at their place and people are coming, I'm gonna do it.
Hmm.
So it's fun. It's different when you're traveling by yourself. I got a guy driving me, selling merch, and I'm in the passenger seat, passed out till I get to the show.
Well, I
Basically,
mean, you gotta rest.
basically. But I have fun. I bring people up on stage. We all sing songs like we'll do "Feel Good Head of Summer" and Nicotine and bring everybody in the crowd on stage. It's fun. So people can be a part of the show, which is what's the best part of an acoustic thing. And I meet
Hmm.
everybody who comes to the show. If there's 50 people there, or there's 250 people there, 300 people there, I talk to every single person, because I'm basically in the crowd talking to people and hanging out. And so I'll hang out and talk to people for as long as they want. It's great. I get to meet a lot of people that maybe you wouldn't if you were in a band with a big barrier in front. I make sure there's my writer's like, no barrier in front of the stage and me. I don't want that. I like that with my band. It'll be that way too. But I just hate that space in between.
Well, do you think though? I mean, well, also, I mean, I don't think anyone's gonna come charging you because a young, a younger version of you probably would have knocked him off the stage anyhow. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
a
It's
bit
not like
wild.
it's you're a pop band where they're gonna be like, I'm gonna go up and hug him. You'll be like, I'm gonna get a bass in my mouth if I go running at him. Your fan
Yeah,
knows who you are.
I was a bit wild in my early days for sure, and I was a bit,
Well,
bit.
that's good now. It's insulated you now, so you don't have to worry about the barrier.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
You're like, it always could happen. It's good in the back of his mind.
I always
you
look at
know?
it like this. If I had something coming that I deserved, well, then let's get it over with. I want people to be part of the show. I want the crowd to be part of it. And if you're
Mhm.
the barrier in between, it's really hard for somebody to be part of something like. So I think it's if they could touch it, be on the stage, then I think it's and I could be in the crowd, then we're all here for the same reason. We're here to enjoy music and have fun. And live performance is 50% artist and 50% crowd. I think it all comes
Mhm.
together. If the crowd's good, sometimes the crowd's better than the band. You know, I've seen the crowd going nuts and the band like they're not playing so good. I don't know what
What you're doing is there's other bands similar age and genre also have like a heavier band and have a couple of different projects, but they also do solo acoustic stuff. They do other stuff, and it does do well because it allows another side, and it does make it more personal. And I
absolutely.
think you have a special audience, especially you and actually this whole genre, where it's not so much a concern over a barrier because it's the age group and everybody else is different, and the new ones coming in and already see the pattern of what it was before. And it's also live music, which and fans want to be part of it. It's interactive, and it's very special. That's why I think you should do it more in the U.S. too, because something's not going to happen. You're not going to see this with AI or these pictures of Instagram guitar players and these 5 million hits, but can they play a club and fill it? Maybe
Right.
some can, but everywhere and tour everywhere and survive takes a different person,
Yeah, I
you
don't give
know?
up. I just keep going. I
Obviously.
have a show. I have a tour coming up in December for acoustic stuff. Just 12 dates, but it's gonna be fun. I mean, I pretty much start on the 21st of this month with Mondo, and I go to Europe with Dwarves, and just I east with back in the East Coast with Dwarves, and then I go to Europe again with Mondo in
Hmm.
October, and then come back to a Dwarves tour like the day I get back. When Dwarves is going on tour with Gore and Helmet, and Dwarves don't normally get offered tours like that, so. I told Black, like, you got to take this tour, man. You got to do it. You know, it's great.
With Mondo, though, you have a lot of songs, and then you're still doing night, plus you have the band Stoner. How we find the balance between those, obviously solo, you can just fill the spots because it's you controlling you.
Yeah,
But Stoner has other members that people know from other bands that you may have been in.
absolutely. Yeah,
And Mondo's got its own little entity.
yeah. Yeah, I had a friend of mine, was saying to me just like yesterday, they were like, "How do you?" I was playing them some new stuff I did, and they're like, "How do you remember a song? How do you remember all these songs? Like when you play with the Dwarves, and then you go play with Blast
Mhm.
or Stoner. Like, how do you remember all the songs?" I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I never really thought about it. I just kind of, it's just something I know that I need to do, and I love music so much that I could do it.
Yeah.
So, some stuff I have to revisit again. Like, yeah, I haven't played that in 30 years. I don't know. So have to learn some stuff if there's a song we want to bring back or something. But yeah, I could just, I've always been able to do that. But there's been hundreds of songs. I mean, I think about like hundreds of songs that I've written and hundreds of songs of people that I play with have written that I have to
Right.
know. So
It's a
it's
lot.
a lot of it I have to revisit, and I just practice and go through. Oh yeah, that's what I did. Oh yeah, that's what and you just redo it. But yeah, it was a good question that she had. I was like, I don't know. I just remember it. She goes, well,
You're like, now, great. Now I'm going to keep forgetting. Thanks for bringing it up now. It's fun as you made me think about it. I wasn't thinking about it because my motto is if you think you stink. So now you're thinking about it.
that's right. That's right. That's right. That's
But
right.
but like you've got to balance though the careers and the life and finances of other artists. I'm sure the guys in those bands also have other things they do. So it's like I don't know, 30-headed monster with everybody doing different projects and those projects, and then trying to get those two to tour at different times.
Yeah,
What is the thought process? Like, how are you doing? Are you like Mondo's, the main band because it's the bread and butter band. Stoner's awesome, but we got to find a balance where it can't affect this, and maybe Brant has his things too. You know,
yeah, it's one of those things where I kind of take Queens was like a main thing for me and back when and so I started Mondo as like a side project thing,
hmm
and it started before and I kind of just shelved it, but when I brought it back it was kind of like, oh, it's my side thing I'm doing, and so it was always been kind of hard for me to put that as a my first foot forward, so
yeah,
I kind of put it on the back burner a lot, which is kind of stupid, because it's a good band, and me and Mike, we've been writing really good stuff together in the past couple records. Me and Mike,
yeah.
I mean, going off each
You
other.
are not slowing down at all. You can come out too.
Yeah.
Like,
We've been doing it. And it's been great. And the new stuff's really interesting and kind of progressive in its own right. Like a lot of good music parts and a lot of parts in the songs and stuff. Some of them are short songs and fast and crazy, but some of them are really like opening up. And we did a new song with we just recorded, and we had Matt from the Bronx, just a great
yeah,
singer. And I really love his singing and the way he approaches music and stuff. And so I asked him if he'd write some lyrics and sing on a tune of ours. And he said, yeah. And he sent it back, and I'm like, wow, man, it's something else. So it kind of inspired me to start finishing the songs that are on the floor for the new Mondo. So it kind of kicked me into gear, which is what I needed. So thanks, Matt. Because
is
we've had
it
the songs now for a while. I needed to get on and get on and finish.
right?
So I started doing that, and so we're getting pretty close to be able to do a new record again.
Yeah. Is there a thing where you're like, well, with Mondo, I need to go out at least do an album every year or two, like,
Oh yeah,
and I
yeah,
need to tour at least 6 months with Mondo because
yeah,
it's a living, breathing thing, and we all have
yeah.
bills and stuff. I mean, and you also don't want to fall off site with the fans.
Yeah, and it says something to your members too, your bandmates. If you're like not interested in doing your band with them, it's like, wait, well, why? Thought we were grooving together. You
Yeah,
can't expect them to be there when you're like, hey, you ready to do a tour like out of the blue?
yeah.
You have to know it's coming every year too. Otherwise, what am I doing this for? I'm gonna join as soon as something else comes along that's more busy, they're gonna take it, and you're gonna be left like, hey, where's my guy at? Where's my
Well, that's the challenge you hear a lot though with bands though. Like they're like,
my
I love
drum?
this band, but I'm not making enough money, so I have to do other things, which is fine because I like being in a band. But the other months, I need to know, I need to have some kind of something to survive to
Yeah, some
balance this.
ability. Yeah.
And I think that's where you hear the riffs, the band's like, well, they weren't available, and the band's like, well, I'm not making enough to be like off 4 months.
Right,
I'm
right,
not in
right.
the Eagles, or I'm not in, what I'm saying, where I can do this.
Yeah.
So I think that's the point where like you as a band leader
There's no
and the
Mondo
leader,
generator. There's no Mondo
you're
generator.
aware of that.
Trainer.
No, but you're aware of the same thing. You're like, yeah, I get it, and that's why this is important to do it this way, and
Yes,
that's
sir.
why you can have longevity with members.
Yes, sir. For sure.
You
For
know,
sure.
because
Yeah.
it's not just about being playing good and getting along. It's also about schedules and
Yeah.
paying for bills. And people have kids now and
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and, and
Absolutely.
marriages, and there's no
Absolutely.
401k in rock and roll.
That's
So
right. That's right. That's right. And there's no retainer, that could keep somebody with. So we got to just keep doing it stuff. That's why I said, I don't want you to work with anybody else. Like, no, you can do
yeah,
whatever you want. But I think the guys I play with, especially Mike. Mike's the main player in the band now, and he's important to the band for sure. Jono, the drummer, is great too. But Mike really is important to the band, and I think he feels really important to play in the band too. Like he thinks of the
mhm.
band as important too, as like I do. So that's why he is, and so I know that he's there to do it no matter whatever bands he's doing. He always says yes to doing Mondo stuff. And so I can always count on him. He's good like that. It's good to have guys like that. You want people to be like, yeah, Mondo, or it's the band we're in, and then we do other stuff. So it's
No, but
good.
it's good though because if you've been doing it for so many years, you're gonna have your low points too, and you're gonna need somebody to help you push you on along a little bit.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
mean that's why I like Mike playing in the band for Mondo's because he's such a main player in the band now that he really sees it as something he wants to do, and
right?
he's always like because he plays at the Dwarves sometimes too. Like Black has
Really?
different people who can't do tours. Like if I can't do one, I got somebody filling on bass, and but Mike's out on a tour, and he's like, well, I just want to do Mondo, man. We got to do Mondo soon. I'm like, yeah. Whenever we go out and do George shows together, we're always like, man, we need to do some Mondo stuff. We'll share a room, we'll have a share a room. He'll be on his bed. I'll be on mine playing.
Yeah.
He'll be on his playing guitar. I'm like, we're like playing Mondo stuff. We should be practicing George stuff. We'll like jam some Mondo stuff. And we're always like, we should do a Mondo tour, right? We should set that up because it's going to take like 3 months.
Why haven't you guys done a Mondo, or have you with Dwarves? Because I mean, it's like you guys share members.
It's a great idea, right?
It's like Styx and like Slayer touring
Right,
together,
right,
which
right.
actually would be pretty awesome if you ask me.
Yeah, right,
But
right, right,
because
right.
dynamics are great. But seriously, I mean, they're both high energy bands,
Yeah.
and it's probably the same audience.
We could do it for sure. It would make a lot of sense.
It'd be cost effective too. I
It would-
mean, the benefits of
Absolutely. Sharing a van and you could be in one vehicle, one van.
yeah. I mean,
It's true.
I
True.
don't know. It's another. I mean, to me, that makes sense. Like I'm like, my God, if you guys are that trading back and forth,
And a
it
package
just comes down to can you and Mike play like or anybody in the bands that do two things. I know bands, some artists will do it. They'll do both gigs,
Yeah,
and I give them credit to do like a double show.
I'm
And
into
now I
doing.
know when people are younger, they do it. Like in cover bands, they do like 3 sets or whatever.
Right, right, right,
But it's
right.
not the same anymore though when you're in your 50s.
Yeah, I'm game to do it though for sure. I would love to do that. I would love to do that. It'd be amazing. You know, it makes sense. Like you're saying, you know, you're sharing a band, you share the costs are cut down, and you could make a package deal. You know, Blag would be he's business minded, smart
Oh,
dude.
he probably, we were just talking about it. He's already probably got it laid out now in shirts. That guy. He has got shirts and albums, and he probably has a book of puns written too, because he's got the best puns.
He's
He's
quick
a
and
smart dude.
quick and on top of it, quick and on top of it. And he's kept that band going for 40 plus years. It's like, holy hell, how do you have a band like I remember getting the first Dwarves record I ever got. I was like, this is gonna be short lived, and I love it. This is the band. I never thought this band would be like I'd play in it, and I never thought 32 years later I'd still be in this band. Yeah, we just
Bananas.
we're just he's just doing mixes right now on a new record we did again. We did another new one. So we did 2 records last time we recorded and put out concept album, and then we put out an EP. So we did all these songs together at the same time. And now we've already gone back in the studio and done another 14 songs. So we stay Black keeps us moving, and he's got the label now, so he wants to have releases lined up to release, you know, which makes sense. And so yeah, it's been great, you know, just like the amount of work that we've been doing, you know, and
Well,
tech.
for him having a label is good, and I think also his story of how he got like the Me Too movement really helped him get all of his rights back to songs.
That's
Like that was
right.
a smart move he made. You know,
Yeah,
he basically people don't know. He's like, go look up the album titles and goes, do you guys want to have that in your label, or you just want to give it to me?
yeah.
And with Me Too, everyone's like, I don't want to touch that, and he's like, fine, I wrote it, it's mine. I'll do with it. It's my thing. It's my thing.
It's great. It's
But it
great.
worked, and that was like awesome. So he's got that going. But there is a challenge for an artist to, like you know, like you're like to work within a realm of like who's going to put the album, how's it going to be put out, how's it going to be distributed.
Yeah, sure.
Being
Sure.
an independent artist for you, and so like when the situations come up for you as a perform with somebody, and there's other people like why is there an influx of music sometimes? It's because what's available.
Right.
You're not stopping as an artist, but sometimes there's a deal like if you do 3 albums, we'll do a deal, we'll distribute for you, and here's a percentage or whatever. There's all kinds
Right.
of different deals.
Right.
Or
Right. Right.
there's or we do like an open contract for each album, and if you can do it. Those are the challenges that you have to do on top of just being a regular performer.
Yeah, everything we have to make sure there's somebody going to put it out and just those main things
Just
really.
yeah.
Um, yeah, it can be stressful sometimes, but I just been lucky and have had quite a bit of people wanting to put stuff out, which has been good. I think I want to do something. I want to do something with Blags. Asked me to, and I was like, "Yeah, dude, I would love to do outside of Dwarf. I mean, for his
Hmm.
label, and so I'm thinking I'm gonna do something with him, which would be
That'd
great.
be cool.
Got MVD distribution, which is great. You know, I mean, he keeps it rolling good, and I know I could always go. I know where he lives. You know, just go to him like, what are you doing? You're doing this wrong. No, he's pretty slick, good, and he has kind of a built-in. He's already got the built-in fan base with Dwarves. Like it's a guarantee that he's going to sell a certain amount of records with the people that really love the
Hmm.
Dwarves.
Or he's solo. He's on solo stuff.
He's planted
He
that
knows
seed,
his
like
area.
planted to see like rock legends, the Dwarves. And so that seed's starting to grow, that plant's starting to grow, and it probably won't happen while we're alive, but you know, eventually the Dwarves will be rock legends, you know. So it's one
Well,
of
I
those
mean, when AI takes over and everyone knows how much it sucks, we go back to the beginning again.
when AI's writing songs for everybody, like, what? How's that work? You know, how can you it just seems weird to me that there's AI songs, you know. I'm like, yeah, AI can write songs for you. Like, why would you want to do that? What don't you want to let something out? Like you can have I don't understand how that works. And I don't understand how you wouldn't know that it was an AI song. I mean, maybe I don't know how that works, but
Well, I tell you what though. First off, it's like running AI can write you a collective, take a bunch of words and stuff, and it collects it all, right? And then you like write a paragraph like this, and it can copy it, and you're not going to know the difference if it uses the same wording and phrasing. And a painting is replicated, not really paint it. Now, for a song, though, unless you listen to songs that are just dance or like industrial or without any kind of vocals to it, or some kind of live performance band, you're not gonna be able to pull it off. So you just got to accept it. You're like, I like EDM, and then my EDM is AI. And you got a lot of actually AI EDM. There's a lot of letters in there. The vowels. It's like a vowel movement. It's you know, it's But the point, the point is like it's being real. You know, we won't like you know, it's a live Memorex. Like it's going to be like that point though. Like just going to be a drastic line. You can like it, but it's once again, it's kind of like it's programmed beyond programmed.
Right, right,
But
right.
you're not gonna do Mondo. You're not gonna do any of the bands you're in. You're not gonna do punk. There's not gonna be punk AI. You're not gonna
Uh,
go to the clubs. People want to go, and that's part of what the band is.
right, that's right. You want to see a live band perform it,
You can't replace that. It's not going to be. It's the other things like I do see like art and writing is going to have a harder thing to deliver because you don't go to a painting concert and see
Right.
like you know what I'm saying you're not going to see like oh look at Picasso. Everyone's standing on a Picasso or even a book club. You still the books are written. So you're not watching a person type out like Stephen King. Like you know Stephen King writes, so he's going to be writing legit. You're just gonna have
Absolutely.
to be an established figurehead person doing it as a
Yeah,
touchstone.
can't kids have their essays written by AI now? Like they don't
Oh
have
yeah.
to do their homework things like write me an essay on da 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 da
Mhm.
Vietnam or whatever.
You can. There's certain things that
Write that
also we
for them,
can.
Like, hey, I got straight A's this year. Yeah, somebody would come like, you could say, write a song. It sounds like Nirvana and Slayer and Queens of the Stone Age, and there would be like a part
Mhm.
in the song that sounds exactly like that. Oh, is this Nirvana? Oh, is that Queens of the Stone Age? Is
Okay,
this
but who's gonna listen to it? I could write a song on my keyboard back here on my guitar. It doesn't matter what it is, right? I say release it. Still doesn't mean it's gonna go anywhere. You know how many songs are out there? If you don't establish, like, okay, you like fine, write an AI song. Go ahead and put it out there. Who's gonna listen to it anyhow?
Yeah, getting people to go to your .com, to sell your records and stuff like. How
Yeah.
do you get people here switch over there if they don't already know to go there? It's a kind of a hard thing to for a new band. I don't know how that works. There's no record industry anymore. I know that. Hollywood now get a big record deal like in the old days. Like you could do that. And bands would come to from wherever Tennessee and move to Hollywood or New York.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, they had a big record deal and they were like big news. And they're like, how the hell did they do that? And that happened. That's
They're all gonna have a style, a stable of AI robots now in the record labels now. You know,
The band Ween went to Austin, Texas for South by Southwest in like 1990 and
yeah.
got like, what? How's that work? They went there, got signed an 8 record deal to Elektra or something like crazy like that. Like, what the hell? It's
Yeah,
like,
that's just not gonna happen anymore. You have to hit the right thing and it's the people part, but also I think with someone like you, when I want people to go, while we're talking about it, where can people go to get your stuff and support you as an artist? Because one thing I always want to go to, I'll put the links underneath also, but I want people to go directly, like eliminate the middleman. Because sometimes you'll play a place or anybody will play a club, and the clubs are taking a percentage out. Now I want the clubs to be around, but it's not like the mob when you're taking money from the artist that's playing, as it is because you're not getting part of the door. It's getting kind of goofy after COVID. Where can somebody get where you get 100% of your profit?
MondoGenerator.net is where the store is. It's kind of when I'm on tour, it's closed down, so it'll say like if it's open or not.
That's fine, but people can put an order in or reach out to you. Well, good luck
I
reaching out to you.
have records, I have shirts and stuff on there. It's good.
Right.
So it's I'm having somebody help me with the site right now, as far as like the appearance of it, because it's kind of difficult to navigate around sometimes,
Mhm.
and I need to be easier, more user friendly. So I have my guitar player's friend is working on it on something right now. So, but yeah, it's there. It's available on mondogenerator.net, and
Well, just to have a place to land so you can, because I want people to be able to support you or dates and follow you on all the socials too. I think, and it's funny because like even with a big level support, like from the outside, people don't realize what it's like with a label. Like, Mondo's always been going. So even people think, oh, well, he was with Queens and then he has a great deal and he's got with Mondo all these years. It doesn't work like that. It's totally not the same as a band on different, what I mean? This is more of a grassroots level and it's a hustle. So to keep it that long going is incredible. It's this is that and content and and be an artist.
be on social media and stuff like that all the time to promote it and stuff. I'm terrible at that. I very very I don't go on social media so much. It kind of drives me a little crazy. I fall into like different holes and start.
Right.
Who's that? Okay, who wants to say hi to me here? And I start diving into. Next thing you know, it's an hour, 2 hours are gone. I'm like, what am I doing? I didn't even go on there to do what I was supposed to do. So it's one of those things where I can't. I have a hard time with it, and I've had some people, stalking me on there at times in my past, on there, it's like, oh, this turned bad for me. So one of those things, I kind of don't like to. I don't have a lot of time for social media, but I do like to go out to shows and stuff like that. I'd rather do that than, you know, uh, going on other sites and stuff. But yeah, I
Well,
really
even an interview like this, you don't usually do. So I thank you. I mean, usually
this
they
is
catch you
great.
at a venue. It's usually like a couple minutes at a venue to
Yeah,
get you to
yeah,
sit down, just to support you and your music, to be more aware of what they're not aware of, because sometimes you have a lot of different stuff. And if
yeah.
you're not aware how the industry works, I mean, hopefully we're catching on a few things that people go, oh, it's not, this. And if they're in town, I need to go because
Yeah,
it's rare, or it
sure.
helps him continue to be an artist that I enjoy the music from, or I need to buy the physical product because there isn't not a millionaire. You know who makes money on Spotify? Mariah Carey and I think Joe Rogan. I don't think anyone
Right.
else makes money on Spotify. I think
No.
that's it. I think actually they made everybody else's money, so there's no money left, I think.
Yeah, it's wild. Like streaming's. I like to stream music and listen to it sometimes, and I play records. But yeah, I go on YouTube. I'll listen to stuff and Spotify and stuff like that. And it's easy. If I'm
I would
traveling.
say I'm a fan of like a lot of your projects. You've done stuff. So obviously Mondo is just your main gig, gonna keep going. I'm hoping for now we put it out there some kind of collaboration. If you write some songs, all these other people, do some kind of a rock record with a lot of other because as a songwriter, I think you've changed. Could you and the guys in Caius, if no one's having legal issues, if you guys get together as adults now as songwriters, what would happen if there was no money? Or like it'd be like doing like a band when a band is like a charity gig and there's no money involved, and everybody plays and goes, "Oh, that was fun," because no one's fighting about money or right.
Yeah, it'd be great.
You and Blag get down, or you and all these different artists. I'm saying, I'm not saying reunion of the
Okay,
bands. I'm
I'm
saying
gonna use your idea on that. I'm gonna use your idea on that and make a record like that. No, I think
so.
it's
Where can people see you and spend their money? No,
um
like, and what kind of products, like, what are we looking at as like from a fan base? I mean, obviously we're in 2025, we're kind of cranking through it now. Holidays, shows for each band, each project. Like, you could talk about each band tour or album. Like, kind of give
yeah,
me a,
what I have coming up is on the 21st of September this month. Mondo Generator is playing a thing called Ripple Fest in Austin, Texas. Um, and then starting on the 24th through the 28th or 29th is um I'm sorry, it's 29th to yeah, to the 29th is Mono is Dwarves in on the East Coast,
mhm.
uh New Hope, Pennsylvania, stuff like that. Uh and um and then we come home for a couple days, and on the second uh I fly to Europe to do the 4th through the 19th, 18th, I'm sorry, with Mondo
Mhm.
Generator. Fly home and jump into a tour on the 19th. Same day travel. It's no, on the 20th, I'm sorry. But I get home on the 19th, and I go to Tempe and start with the Dwarves with
Man,
Gore Helmet and Dwarves. This is gonna be great. And that goes till November 22nd. So from October 20th to November 22nd, that tour. And then I have a couple, like 10 days off or so,
mhm.
which would be well needed by then. And then I do an acoustic tour from the 2nd of December to the 12th of December. And so 10 days be easy to do. And then I'm taking Christmas off. I ain't doing nothing. But I might do something for New Year's. I might play. I'm talking with a couple different bands, the band Blast, and maybe we'll do something for New Year's. I'm not sure, but it would be fun too. But I wouldn't
That
mind.
would be cool.
After
That
all,
would be cool. Actually, the time and then the time around Christmas, maybe that's time you get down, start outlining your new solo electric album. It gotta be like, Dave Grohl did that with Probot. You know what I mean?
asking me at Christmas time, everybody's in jolly mood,
Well,
Hey, you want
yeah, but I'm saying, but you can start writing down your ideas. You could reach out to them, get them to agree. They're on a sauce. They agree to it. You're like, hey, do you remember? I got the album. The label's pressing down on me. You're not gonna let me hang, are you? No.
all right. Yeah, man, I'm gonna do that. I think it's a great idea. Thank you for that. That's a good one. I think that would be there's too many great musicians that I've been lucky to play with that it'd be a shame not to put them all together on one record.
I think so. I mean, that's the best thing. If you're a musician, you can have these relationships with friends. You can plan each other's albums. You can create together. Do as much as you can right now. Because what have we learned? Like, people aren't aren't living anymore. They're dying younger. They're getting sick. They're this, they're that, whatever. They're losing their skills. Guitar players are getting their hands paralyzed. Like I've heard so many things through this show. Like I'm like from your peers. I'm like every time I talk to them, I'm like, you need to write as much as you can and record it.
All
Work
right,
with
yeah,
whoever you want.
Document it, get it recorded, man.
Yeah, because it might all of a sudden you might wake up and you might just not be there anymore. And you'll be like, oh, I had this thing, I was just waiting for the right time. There's no right time.
Right.
Now is the right time.
That was the right time, man, for sure.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
I wanna thank you. I mean, I'd like to invite you back, of course, anytime. And when you have albums, I'll help support you. You know,
Good.
if you want to come back and we'll talk about your albums or break them down and get nerdy on some record stuff. So people check them out, support them at I can't remember your website.
MondoGenerator.net.
.net. I was gonna say .net. Check him out there. Buy his merch. Go to the shows. Support in person. Support live music. I want to thank you. It's been the best, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.